What is up, tube users? I'm the Stereotypical Gamer, and welcome back to another fantastically fun games for under $15. Today, we are diving into Bioshock 2. This is just another one of those great sequels to a great game. I think in some terms Bioshock 1 is a little bit better. I think the story overall is a lot more compelling and more interesting in Bioshock 1, but I think they added a lot of cool and unique things to Bioshock 2 to make it a fun and unique experience altogether. But overall, this game does a really great job of just being a great sequel. I think for the most part, if you haven't played Bioshock 1, this game won't make a lot of sense, so I definitely recommend playing that. But this game is just an excellent sequel to that game. It doesn't like add on to the story, like it's not like the same characters that you're playing as, but it does take place in the same universe, and I think just having an understanding of Bioshock 1 gives you a better understanding of the storyline in Bioshock 2, because you play as the kind of one of the main antagonists of Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2, which is really fun and really unique and makes a really intriguing story if you kind of understand the lore of Bioshock 1. And I just love the atmosphere of Bioshock games from that like steampunk, underwater, kind of futuristic city vibe that's a really fun and really unique, and just kind of the atmosphere of things. You know, they do a really good job of playing off emotions, of like giving really like scary elements in certain sections, and really doing a good job with like just comedy and stuff like that. It kind of gives it the feel of like a Fallout game in some of those respects, of just having areas that are kind of meant to be scary and areas that are meant to be funny, and does a really good job of melding them together and just kind of playing off just even more emotions than just those two. And I think the controls and the gameplay aspects of things are a lot smoother in Bioshock 2. I think they did a really good job of just kind of tuning those different aspects of gameplay that they wanted and just really nailed it in Bioshock 2. And I love that they stuck with the same basic formula of Bioshock 1. You have like the same basic looting schemes, you have the same basic kind of control schemes and gameplay schemes, but it's all just fine-tuned and just kind of feels more fluid to use all around, and I really love Bioshock 2 for that. And then there's all these like small things that I really enjoy about Bioshock, and I think these were in Bioshock 1, I can't quite remember. There might be some things that were added in Bioshock 2, but like one of my favorite things is like you'll find different like equipment, and like maybe you're just picking this game back up for the first time in a couple of weeks or something like that, and you don't quite remember how these things work. Basically, every functional thing in the game has like a tutorial that you can look up by just pressing a button, and like it will bring up the tutorial for that thing that you're looking at. It's really nice and really well done for just like getting basic knowledge on what the things you're looking at do and how to use them and stuff like that. And I absolutely love the overall map design, because it is pretty linear. Like you have a few little secret areas that you can find like that, but it's pretty linear path all the way through. But just kind of looking out, and you have all of this kind of back areas and stuff like that, it really makes it feel like an open world, even though you are like down deep in the depths of the ocean. Like can't really explore all too much out there, but it is really cool to see this giant city like in the background always. It does make it feel a lot more open than it is. But enough of the good aspects, let's go over some of the bad aspects of this game. While I do love the storyline of Bioshock 2, I think it does a really good job of just kind of playing off the lore that was built up in Bioshock 1. I think overall the story of Bioshock 1 is really hard to compete with, and I just think Bioshock 1 is just better for that. I think overall gameplay-wise, Bioshock 2 is far better, but that storyline is just so good in Bioshock 1. It's hard to compete with. And this has been an issue that I had when I replayed Bioshock 1 recently, and now with Bioshock 2. After I get to like a certain point, get to a certain load screen, the game just completely crashes, and there is no like auto save feature, and I have like a previous save, but it always crashes in these like certain load points, and I can't progress past that, and I don't get like an error message or anything. So I don't know if it's like a typical problem. I haven't really researched it at all, but it's been a thing that's been in both of the first two Bioshock games, so I don't know if it's a trend. I will have to test out with the Bioshock Infinite and stuff like that, but it is something that is really annoying, and especially if I forget to save right before that load point, I mean, I have to basically restart from the start of the game, which is really annoying and just kind of kills my drive to play the game. But other than that, I mean, this game is really phenomenal, and it does a good job of being a great sequel. I just wish the crashing issue wasn't a thing, because I really do want to play through and progress through this game, but it is really frustrating to just not be able to progress because of a issue that's not part of the game. But yeah, I think overall this game still holds up phenomenally well in terms of gameplay, story, and even in terms of graphics. I think the graphics are pretty good for being almost a 15-year-old game. And especially for the discount on all the Bioshock games right now, and this game being only $3, it is an absolute steal and really a must-play game if you enjoyed Bioshock 1. And if you haven't played Bioshock 1, you should go play that game, and you should pick up this game while you're at it, because they're just two great games back to back to play. I think these games are also a great game to play on controller as well. I think both Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2 were kind of built for console and then were ported over to PC later. And then I think Bioshock Infinite was like kind of built for both, but they definitely have a more of a controller scheme feel to their controls rather than mouse and keyboard. But yeah, I think this game does a really great job of being a sequel. It's probably one of my like top 10 sequels of all time for games, because it does such a good job of just building off different aspects of the first game in a fun and unique way. And it's hard to compete with Bioshock 1 because it did such a good job of kind of setting the setting for the Bioshock games, and it had a really great story. I would say it's one of my favorite stories in video games ever. But so it's hard to compete on that scale, but it does a good job of being fun and unique on its own and just kind of building off the Bioshock franchise. But I think in terms of gameplay, Bioshock 2 just did a really great job of making things feel fluid and smooth overall. Like from using like kind of your secondary abilities and switching between them to switching to different weapons and using them, like the hack tool. I really love how fluid it is to like shoot a drone, hack it, and then switch to another weapon and use that weapon. It's really fluid, all of the kind of different abilities and stuff that you can use, and I just really love the gameplay overall. And I really love the approach to the story, because obviously the Bioshock 1 having a phenomenal story and just kind of building off the kind of characters of Bioshock 1. I don't think the character you play as was in Bioshock 1, but you play as like kind of one of the main antagonists, which is really intriguing in its own rights, just to play as like the main bad guy that you've been fighting throughout Bioshock 1. And I love the simplistic feel of things. You know, you don't have a bunch of junk to like just find and vendor around and stuff. You just have like money and kind of different ammos and stuff that you'll pick up, and then you can go and find like vending machines to buy either more ammo, you can buy some abilities and stuff like that. So really just simplistic, and I like that there's not a whole lot of junk and stuff to go around. Most things that you pick up have a use in some way. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did. Comment any other fantastically fun games for under $15 that you know of, and I'll definitely check them out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.